Hey there, everyone. I'm doing a teardown, a breakdown, a review of Yahoo Finance. Now, the first thing I'm going to say about Yahoo Finance is that it has a long history in markets. It's been doing this since '99, the E-Trade days. And many of you probably know it, and that's why I'm going to review it. And by the way, you'll notice that there is a classic Yahoo Finance. You see this button here. This is actually what I'm used to. I remember this layout. I've sort of grown accustomed to it. But in this video, I'm going to break down the new Yahoo Finance for all of the people out there who need a walkthrough and want to learn about all the tips and ways to use this platform. Remember, I've been working in this industry for a decade plus, building platforms, tools, networks, trading capabilities across the industry. So I'm literally viewing this as someone who's done this before and been there. And so I hope to illuminate, what is possible. So first of all, pay attention to the news articles here. I think that's key. When you make this your homepage for all things finance, you really are committing to a capability of following market news daily. You can see the headline of the news and the tickers that it's relevant to. So you can see here the relevant tickers. This says Krispy Kreme surges as McDonald's partnership goes national. Well, this is Krispy Kreme's ticker. This is McDonald's ticker. So you have them both right here. And if you click into them, you can head right to their sort of page. It's a dedicated page for this stock. Now, there's another way to get to these dedicated pages, which I'm going to walk you through, and that's using the symbol search. By the way, you might notice I scroll down every time I go here. It's because I'm not a fan of ads, so I just try to get them out of the way. And well, if you wanted to go to Tesla, you could quite literally type in the company Tesla or just do TSLA. And by the way, that's another helpful tip for using the search box. It's if something's on your mind and you want to find something, type it in. Does Uber have a stock? Well, we can type in Uber. Sure enough, Uber Technologies. Now, you always want to fact check these. Are they the actual company you're looking for? You're going to want to look into that. Sometimes you'll even notice that they have privately listed companies here as well, Uber Freight. Now, maybe you're looking for commodities like cocoa. So we can do cocoa. And what we see here are the commodity futures contracts, a Wisdom Tree ETF product, and so much more. You have this capability to type this in and get started from there. When you're ready, just click. You'll go to that page for that dedicated symbol, which once again, I'll walk you through because there's news, charts, conversations. Look at this left-hand rail here. This is really where you're going to be able to dive in. I'm going to try to make my screen a little bigger so you can see it all. And I'm even going to take you through the charting process and what it means or how it works. But quickly heading back to the home page, there's one more tip or piece of advice I want you to pay attention to. Now, at the top of the page, you have some quick links to click that take you to some big picture products or news articles. Number one is your portfolio tools. So if you click your portfolio tools, this is where you can create a custom portfolio or watch list. Now, if you have a brokerage account somewhere else and you feel like you can share that information with Yahoo Finance, you can quite literally connect your brokerage account to Yahoo Finance. So I personally never do that. You may find this interesting because if you read the terms and agreements, when you connect your brokerage account to other platforms, you're essentially giving away all of your trading history to such a platform. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. A lot of people secure the data. Maybe they get it once, put it in their platform, throw it out. But it's sort of like playing poker at the end of the day. You're just showing your hand to all parties involved, really. But still, you can trust these platforms if you review the details, the docs, the security agreements, connect your account, and just like that, you'll build an automated portfolio right here. You can also import a CSV file. I think that might be a better way to do it. You go to Google Docs or Excel, type out your portfolio, and then upload your portfolio right here. Or just create it manually. I think creating a manual portfolio right here is quite easy because you can just click right here, start creating, and you'll create. So watch this. Let's just do test portfolio number 3. I think I've already done this 3 times now on 3 different walkthroughs. Create portfolio, and here it is. My portfolio's test number 3. And it's really as simple as adding a symbol or adding a symbol. So if we add a symbol here, I can type in Google. Here's Google, add it. There it is. Here's Google. Now you can see some key facts and go from there, really. And if you click this drop down, you're going to access all of the portfolios that you have available to you. I'm going to go to my watch list number 1. This one's a little bit bigger. I've followed it throughout time. You can sort of see all the things on my watch list. And it's actually pretty interesting to see how many symbols no longer even exist because they were acquired or delisted or something of that sort. So what I'm going to do is just check all of these boxes. So you check them all, right? So we're just checking. Just keep on checking. And we're going to go delete symbols. So you can make bulk actions like that. Now, when you do have your watch list created as well, you can, of course, sort your watch list also. So you can sort it by change or last price or anything of the sort. Volume, shares, average volume, day range. So once you start to create your custom watch list, you have all of these sorting options. Now, there's a reason why I did want to take the time to show you your portfolio and watch list, and that's because once you make your watch list, and if you head to this homepage quite a bit, I'm now going to move my camera over because I want you to now focus on the right side of the screen. See my mouse, right side of the screen? You can customize your dock here, and it will load up each time. So we just click the Customize button, and we get to decide what we want on the top. I want my portfolios up here at the top, then top economic events, trending tickers, recently viewed. I don't care so much about the broad markets in this case because, well, maybe I already have different ways to view the broad markets. So I refresh the page, and sure enough, I'm logged into my account. Here's my custom docket. I got my portfolios right here. If I'd like to see a different portfolio, I can do that. If I scroll down, you can actually see all of my symbols here. There's top economic events. Recall I put economic events here as well. So that's a helpful tip for understanding the My Portfolio tool, and it's front and center here, so it's clearly important to the Yahoo Finance team. News is just what it sounds like, and scanning for specific news articles by topics. Markets, just what it sounds like, viewing high-level, big-picture market items. Now, if you're a trader or an investor, or you like to look for fast-moving stocks, or you're trying to understand what is moving, I think some of these preset categories, such as most active, or gainers, or losers, will be of interest to you. So if you click gainers, now what you're looking at are all of these stocks that are up the most today. Krispy Kreme is up 28%. Now, also pay close attention that when you use these filters, it is a screener. So you can edit this and make custom adjustments as you need. So this says that the price percentage change has to be greater than 3%. It has to be in the United States. You can select your market cap option and volume as well. Well, I'm going to click small caps because I want to see small caps. And I'm also going to narrow it because I only want to see companies that are at 15% or more. So I've said all baskets of stocks, small, mid, large, and mega caps in the United States up 15% or more with a volume greater than, let's do 150,000. Find stocks. Let's see if anything even shows up. We've now narrowed it down to 7 stocks. And how interesting is that? These are some serious gainers here and you can see the market cap as well. So this is a key feature when you start to understand markets is you have this screener capability, which, by the way, you can see here as well. There are these screeners and sectors. Now, I'm going to get into screeners a little deeper and what's also possible, like how about saving your screen? So this could just be, I click Save As, the big mover screen, and then I could write a description about what it is and click Save. And now I've just saved the big mover screen to my profile. Look, it says it right here. Big, oops, I'm actually blocking that. So let me move my mouse. It literally says big mover screen right here. So I've just saved it. So you can do this exact same thing. Okay, I want to go back to the specific page for symbols before I go deep into the screener tools or some of the advanced features. So if I type in Tesla here and click Tesla. Okay, this is the symbol page as I was showing you. When you get to it, you can see all of the information for a specific instrument. Now, I want to make sure you know how to use this page so that you take full advantage of it. First of all, you can see here I'm following it, or it's been added to my watch list to some degree. So whenever you see this button up here, you can click and then see which watch list it's in or where you're following it. And you can quickly add it to as many watch lists as you like just by checking a box. Now it's been added to all of those watch lists. Next up is you have your chart functions to see how it's performed over different periods of time. So if you click 6 months, you're now seeing the price of Tesla over 6 months. So basically it's today's price going back 6 months. YTD means year to date. So it's the start of 2024. I'm recording this video in 2024 up to the current day in March, and so on. 1 year would be the last year. 5 years would be the last 5 years. So ideally this is making sense to you, or you already know how it works. So now that you know that feature about the chart, let's just get a little more advanced before we move into the stats, how to read these stats, the news articles, and the other features over here to the left-hand side. So first of all, I want to go to the chart, sort of, what type of chart do you want to look at? Well, you can look at a line, a candlestick, baseline, mountain, or bar chart. So you have different ways to view price as you need. As many of you know, and I have a video on my YouTube channel, please go watch it. Candlesticks show you the full range. Just watch the video. I can't really dive into candlesticks now because I want to get through this whole platform and there's a lot to offer. A line just shows the price as a line, just as you might have been in grade school when you plotted certain things on a graph and then drew a line. That's what that is. And baseline is sort of seen if it's green or red on the day as a percentage of its average move. Mountain is just a line chart colored in. That's all mountain is. People sometimes get that confused. It's just a line chart, but then colored in. So look at the line in the green. Now here's just the line. It's not colored in. So that is the different chart features as well. Okay, before I go into advanced chart, I want to talk about some of the stats and details that you can find on a Yahoo Finance page. First of all of these stats are pretty key base level stats to understanding what a company is doing, what it's potentially valued at. So a personal favorite of mine is market cap. What is it actually worth? How much is the company worth as a whole? Tesla in this case is worth $581 billion. You can also see some trading stats. What is the opening trade, the bid, ask, the day range, the 52-week range? You have the capability to see all of this. Now scrolling down, you can also see recent news, some related videos, some comparisons, and some other valuation statistics or financial highlights. But the key here is as you go down the symbol page, there are going to be some interesting things that you don't want to miss, such as research analysis. You might find this pretty helpful. What are analysts saying? Look at this. What's the average price target? What are the earnings reports saying? The further you scroll down on the symbol page, the more you'll get to. And by the way, there's a view more button here. Well, if you click the view more button, what you'll find is it's just taking you to the tabs here. So now's a good time for me to walk you through these tabs. So I was able to show you the summary page. News is just what it sounds like. Click news and you're going to see news here. But there is a very helpful tip for the news section on Yahoo Finance that I would really recommend to people, which is this SEC filings here. The reason why that's quite helpful is, you may not want to see news articles from all over the web. You might actually just want to see quite literally what's being filed with the SEC. What are literal official announcements from Tesla? Well, you can do that by making sure you select this drop down and then clicking the exact filing you want to see. So if you want to see news, well, this is going to be news from all over. Yahoo Finance Video, Investors Business Daily. You're reading reports from journalists, analysts, newspapers, magazines, media companies. Press releases, just what it sounds like. They, related or sort of press releases that companies are quite literally launching. It's PR. It's going through a newswire of sorts. But SEC filings is where you get official filings from the company itself, and you can select the exact option. I find that to be rather helpful. I would encourage you all to use that if you want to actually see what the company is filing with the SEC. Now, chart. This is an important one here because this is the advanced chart. So now I can actually get into this a little bit deeper, and let me take you back to the Tesla page, advanced chart. So if you click advanced chart, or if you head to the chart page I just demonstrated, you're going to get a more advanced charting experience than just the line chart you saw. Now at the bottom left, you have these date range tools. So you can customize the date range for your specific chart. So if you just want to see 6 months, you can do that. 3 months, you can do that. Customize the interval. Do you want to see each candle as a daily candle, or maybe you want to do a weekly candle? That means each candle now represents a full week of trading. You can do comparisons, indicators, technicals, corporate events, and of course change the chart type once again. But now you've got a few more advanced options because now you're in the advanced chart. So rather than just doing lines and mountains, well, now you can do scatter plots if you wish. You can do step mountains if you wish. Whatever it is that you like, you can do that. And the whole point here is everyone has a different reason to trade or invest. By creating a chart of your choice, you can follow price or price range exactly how you'd like. Even if it's something like CAGI charts or point and figure, that's where you're going to find it right here. So this is the chart. And by the way, I would just remind you of a few key things. Corporate events, if you have Yahoo Finance Plus, you're going to get a lot of specific news articles here that you can add to the chart. So it will show it as quite literally an event on the chart. Now, you can see here I'm checking off all corporate events, guidance, and performance. Now I'm going to go to a line chart, and I'm going to go to a 6-month chart. So now you can see here we've got these blue lines, and we can hover, these blue dots. We can hover our mouse over these blue dots to see all of these corporate events. I personally think that this is a tool that you'll want to watch because sometimes you'll see that a really important news article comes out and that is driving the price. So as an example, we're going to go to Krispy Kreme. We are going to sort of just shrink this down a bit. We've got all of our corporate events selected. We're going to go to a candle chart so you can really see the jump. And actually, it's not showing on the candles, so let's go to the line chart. There's a news article here today about Krispy Kreme partnering with McDonald's, and you can see it's up 28%. You could go back in time as well to see some other important events that happened, quarterly cash dividends or adjusted earnings, things like that. So the story here is that if you want to do charting, you're going to dive in and really just test these features. So moving average, 50-day moving average, click done. We've now got a moving average added. I think that's enough time spent on the chart at this point because I do believe that a lot of people on Yahoo Finance are using it for other reasons, such as its statistical data or financial data. So I click statistics and it's exactly what it sounds like. These are statistics about Tesla. What I would remind everyone when they're using this specific tool, depending on if you have Yahoo Finance Plus, by the way, is whether you want to see the data on a monthly basis or annual basis. By default, it's quarterly. So every 3 months, you can look back in time and see where it was at. Market cap, enterprise value, trailing PE, forward PE, PEG ratio, price to sales ratio, price to book. Now, there's 2 tips I want to talk about here why I like this page a lot. I use this page all the time, actually. Tip number 1 is I love comparing enterprise value to market cap. If enterprise value is greater than market cap, it means that they actually have, if enterprise value is less than market cap, it means they have more cash than debt because enterprise value is market cap plus debt minus cash. So it's adjusting for the cash on the balance sheet. This means Tesla has $19 billion in cash, less debt, and it's actually sort of trading at almost not a discount, but it's just interesting to see that maybe the market's not pricing in its financial health at this point in time. In addition, I would add that it's very helpful to see some key statistics. So this says trailing PE ratio, current 40, and then to look back in time over the last few quarters. It was 80 3 months ago, 71 a few months before that, 76 a few months before that, 57 a few months before that, 38 in 2022. Well, what's so cool about that is that its current trailing PE ratio is the second lowest it's ever been since 2022. Its enterprise value is less than its market cap. And what you're just doing here is some quick statistical numbers to understand its valuation. And this page can be really helpful for that. As you scroll down, you're going to get some other insights here, financial highlights and trading information. And once you sort of get through that, that's about the end of the page. Historical data. I just love this, especially if you use spreadsheets or if you study price history. So one thing that I think is really helpful is to download all of the historical data using this download button, add it to a spreadsheet, make a new column for percentage move. So do the open compared to the close to get a feel for what was the move that day. And then sort of get an average because then you know, okay, on average, Tesla moves 1% up or down, but today it's up 5%. Well, that's significant. That's a big move then if that's its average over all this time. Look at this. You can download all this data to a spreadsheet or just review it as needed. So if you wanted to know, today's March 26th, 2024. Okay, March 26th, 2023, we can go back and look at the exact open, high, low, and close on that specific day and the volume traded. So a year ago, this is May, so let's go, but you get the idea. Where's March? March, for some reason, is missing from here. That's interesting. Oh, April, May. Oh, okay, so we just missed it. So we have March 27th. Sorry about that. I was looking at the dates incorrectly. All right, well, let's just use March 27th. So a year ago, it was $194 a share and 120 million shares traded. Today, we can go to the top of the page here. So it's down from last year. It's 178. And look at the volume. Volume has decreased. And you can just see that on a daily basis. This historical data tab is actually really helpful if you get good at it. And keep in mind, you can do some specific details like I only want to see dividends or stock splits. You can see it daily or weekly. I think the key is to get to this page and just start experimenting with it. The profile is just what it sounds like. If you want to learn more about Tesla and what's going on, go to the profile. What's the age of their the key executives? What's their pay? How much money have they? How much stock are they exercising? I mean, he's exercised 33 million, born in 1981, so actually pretty, all things considered, fairly young, actually. 1981, so potentially just over 40 years old and exercised 33 million. That's pretty dang good, and getting a 300,000 base pay. So you can get a feel for more about the company and its key events, which I think is really helpful. You're going to want to make sure you know what events are upcoming. Financials is just what it sounds like for all of the valuation people who know how to run a business, people who are familiar with businesses. You have your income statement, your balance sheet, and your cash flow. Now, I'll make separate videos analyzing how to read these things. How do you read an income statement? How do you read a balance sheet? On my YouTube channel, I will have these videos ready in no time. But on Yahoo Finance, just by clicking this Financials tab, you can access all of that. Financials here, and then, of course, pick the type of statement you want to analyze. Income statement is sort of like what was their profit and loss at any given time. Balance sheet is what are they literally holding on their balance sheet. Cash flow is how is the cash actually moving through the company? Where is it going? How is it being invested? Is there free cash flow that they can reinvest back in the company? Free cash flow right here. So you can see that as well and break it down. So one more thing I'll say about this, if you're on income statement, is look for these little arrows. You may not know this, but if you click these arrows, you can expand it more to get more details. So my personal favorite would be operating expenses. So they had I think this is billion, so 8 billion in operating expenses. So if they had 8 billion in operating expenses, and it is a car company after all, and then you click the drop down here, well, it's really nice to see, well, where is the actual sort of, that's right, and this is trailing 12 months. So it means the last 12 months. I also have annual selected, so 2023, 2022, 2021, 2020. But I could do quarterly. So now it's a quarterly earnings report, 2023, 2023, every 3 months. December, you get the idea. But going back to the annual basis, trailing 12 months, you can see, okay, selling, general, and administrative expenses. Research and development, interesting. Well, how much are they spending on research and development over the last 12 months compared to prior years? Well, you can see in 2022, it was, look at that. They've essentially doubled their research and development cost since 2020. This is 2020, research and development. And now let's look at it today. They've more than doubled it, actually. They've more than doubled it. So you can get some pretty nice insights here to see what the business is actually doing. And the further you scroll down, the more financial data you'll see. Analysis is just like I had demonstrated. It's the analysts, it's the analyst opinions, it's what is Wall Street saying, what's their average estimates, what are they estimating for earnings. So a great tip here. If you've stuck around this video this long as well, let's say you do follow Tesla earnings super closely. And you want to know, well, what is Wall Street predicting? So the earnings report is coming. What's Wall Street saying? Well, you can see it right here. Average estimate for revenue is $22.8 billion. The low is 20, the high is 26. Now you have a framework to know whether Tesla will beat estimates or miss estimates. A lot of people have no idea what that means, but that's where you can find this in this analysis section. Options, for all the options traders out here, you're going to get an options chain. And by this point, you're gathering just how much data is available to Yahoo Finance. And I think the key thing here at this point in the video, if you've stuck around this long, is just how much information you get once you get to the actual ticker page and start using these tabs here. Once you start to use these tabs, you'll get all of this. So options traders can see the strike prices, the duration, the dates, the movement in the option contracts. And then if you go to holders, this might be interesting as well. You can see who the largest holders are. Quick breakdown. So you see 45% of all Tesla shares are held by institutions. And if you scroll down, well, you can see who holds the most. Vanguard holds 7%, BlackRock 5%, State Street 3%. You get the idea. There's your mutual funds. So which mutual funds hold the most of the stock? It's the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund, holds 84 million shares. And now you can see the breakdown. No wonder why Vanguard holds so much. It's in their Total Stock Market Index Fund. It's in their Vanguard 500 Index Fund. It's in their S&P 500 ETF Trust. So you can see the actual breakdown. And the institutional holders, of course, you might find this interesting, but I think what's important about a page like this is knowing to click into Insider Roster. So we just clicked into Insider Roster, and now you can get a feel for what they're doing. There's been quite a few sales lately. That's interesting. I don't know why there's been quite a few sales, but maybe they're just buying new homes and they're trying to live. That often is a thing. That doesn't always have to be some grand conspiracy because insiders are selling. Sometimes these people are just like you and I, and they have big expenses. They have kids. They want to buy a brand new home, a beach house. They have to sell. And that leads us to insider transactions, where you can get some more details about what those insiders are doing, literally line by line. And it's probably key that you just want to read this so you can see the exercise price and sales price. You get all of the granular data here about where they're exercising their options. So this gentleman was granted, or it could be Denham Robin, maybe Robin, so it's a lady. She was once granted options with an exercise price of $23 per share. She bought those shares at $23. Those are some nice options to get. Maybe she got them 10 years ago before Tesla was as big as it is today. And then she sold it anywhere from 173 to 177. So she made a nice profit on that, actually. And perhaps, yeah, look at that. She spent $2 million to exercise it. So she bought it at 23. It cost her $2 million. Then she sold it for $16 million. So that's her net profit. Wow. So that's pretty cool. She's probably buying a home of sorts. But like I said, it doesn't always mean bad things. For all you know, Tesla could double from here. And now she left a ton of money on the table. It doesn't always work out. I'll have to make a video about these insider sales. Sustainability, quite frankly, I think is just ridiculous. I mean, environmental, social governance. If I'm an investor, I could care less. I just want to know, is the company well run? Is it doing good things? Is it building great products? Is it profitable? Can it be profitable? Is it growing? These government scores are, and a lot of them are just made up. There's no actual data behind them. Oftentimes, it's people making checklists. You don't know who they are, how many people are on the committee. I'm not a huge fan. Some people do like this because they can say, well, the company at least is doing some good. For example, it's not in gambling or adult entertainment or sort of animal testing. So you can see all these no's. So it might make you feel better to know you're not supporting something you don't agree with. That I do actually think is smart. If you don't agree with something, you probably don't want to back it with your hard-earned money. Insights is a Yahoo Premium feature. So by this time in the video, I've walked you through the entire page here, giving you multiple tips, insights, and ways to use the platform. What I want to do now is just go back to the homepage and wrap this up and remind you that these tabs up here offer you tons of more information by the specific topic. So if you do like to watch specific videos, say options, go to the videos tab and go to the options pit and watch some videos about options. If you want to create a custom screen, which is something that I was showing you earlier, you can do so. And I have a big mover screen saved. There's a create screener button. and you can walk through all of these steps to create a screener of your choice. So if we wanted to create a stock screener, equity means stocks, we click equity, and now we can begin. We select what we want to screen for. We want to screen in the United States. We want small caps, mid caps, large caps, mega caps. That gives us 12,595 stocks. And say we only want stocks that have a price that's greater than $10. Now we're down to 5,300. And let's add another filter. And how about we add a filter that is called market cap? Okay. And how about the market cap has to be greater than 50 billion. So this is actually might be kind of hard. I have to type it out with commas first. There we go. Now let's delete the commas. And you'll see what I'm doing here. And now we're down to 871 companies. Actually, that's pretty shocking to me that there are 871 companies with a market cap over 50 billion. Wow. That might shock you too, but hey, that's a new screen. We could save this as our $50 billion screen. So the point being is I've now walked you through the platform, and the final thing is that if you want to get some advanced tools on Yahoo Finance, they have these plus plans, cost money annually. You basically get everything that I just showed you, plus more reliable data, research, insights, and alerts. And it's ad-free. So you saw I didn't really like the ad-free aspect, but if you do pay for it, you get all of these additional features and some trade ideas. At some point, I will get this platform and do a review of it, and I'll tell you literally if it's actually worth it. So with that being said, this is my breakdown of the free version of Yahoo Finance. It is for all of you who use the platform and don't know how to use it. I think this video just showed you everything available to you. I think I walked you through some of the concepts to get your mind working. And thanks so much for watching.